Hello guys, this is IronFox7 and today we are going to do a layout review. I've decided to do this because I haven't posted a lot at all. I've gone to like posting once a month sadly, so I'm sorry about that. And also I've never done a layout review, I've noticed, on the layout. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram account, but I have kind of not been paying attention to YouTube, so I was like, I'm just gonna make a video. So as you can tell, a lot has changed since the last time you've seen the layout. I actually got the second loop finally going, and I got some little extra details I've added, like the power lines you see over there. And as you can see, I got the new FEF. You can't really see it because it's behind the shed, but you'll see it later at the end of the video when I get running the trains. But yeah, everything is coming together, and I've gone to the point where it's pretty much what's left is building my town. And one of the reasons why I have not made a video recently is because of school, and I'm a sophomore in high school, and when you go from freshman to sophomore, you really get a taste of how hard school is going to get. When you get older, things get harder. And other than that, I guess, I've just not gotten the motivation to really make a video yet, but I feel like it's perfect to do it now because I finally got the second loop, and I'm finally adding good details to the layout. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm going to show you guys the layout. Here is the 4-track yard that I made, and as you can see in the past, it used to be a 3-track yard, and this table is big enough for 4, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make it 4. So I made it 4, and it was probably the best decision I've ever done for this yard, because, look at it, it's much better than just 3. And another big decision that I think was the best decision I think I've ever done on this layout is convert everything with roadbed. If you remember from the past, everything was just put down by zip ties and just not even proper screws, because I didn't know what I was really doing, and there was no roadbed or nothing, and I was just like, it's fine, roadbed's expensive. I'm like, and then I realized, well, 2 issues. One, it doesn't look the best, and I honestly would rather have roadbed, since I found out roadbed is actually not as much as you think. When you buy Gargraves and Ross track, oh my god, the track is so expensive, apparently, but it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. But yeah, the roadbed was cheaper than I thought, and I'm like, I'm gonna get 2 boxes of this stuff and try it out. And it came out way better than I expected. It came out real clean. And if you're asking, am I gonna do grass and gravel? I'm apparently not, but I definitely could, but that's something that I would save for the future, because that's just a lot of work, and I don't know how to do that stuff yet. I bet it's not as hard as it think, but yeah, this layout it's just carpet. It's not like Homoso or just plywood. But I like how it looks too, just without the scenery. It just looks clean and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys can tell me what you think, and maybe give me suggestions of things I should do. But yeah, if you're wondering why I did Ross and Gargraves instead of just like all Ross or maybe all Gargraves, well, one, Gargrave switches are not the best, if you guys know. I don't like them. And when I saw Gargraves, I'm like, I like the wooden ties. I would get all Ross if it was brown ties. But the other thing is, for some reason, the Gargraves just looks cleaner without the nails. As much as the nails is more realistic, the Gargraves is just easy. It's actually, I'm glad I did it, because I had to replace some ties that broke. And Gargraves, it's very easy. You can just bend like the under part of the rail and take out the tie and put it in, or just pull out the tie, because that's just for the flex track. Now curves, that's a whole different story. You shouldn't really mess up on those ties, and I didn't, so that's pretty good for my in my case. But yeah, if you're wondering, if you got any questions about like doing layouts and stuff, I'm not the best to go to, but I've learned a lot, and I could help you, including in wiring. I'm pretty decent in wiring, I guess you can say. I've done pretty good work. Maybe I should do that in another video, go and show you the wiring, because it's kind of hard to film it. I've already tried, and just trust me, it's pretty good. But other than that, I'm going to show you guys in the center of the layout. here I am in the center of the layout. You can see the FEF and the train station I made. And, well, not really made. Well, I guess you can say made, just like put up. But, yeah, I'm in the center of the layout now. I think this was a really good idea to do this, because when it comes to making a layout this big, you need a way to access everything in the center. And, I mean, this table's strong enough to hold me, and trust me, I'm pretty heavy, and, yeah, this table's pretty strong. But you don't really want to do that all the time, because it's just, not the best idea, But, I mean, if you should make your table where you can go on it if you have to. And when you do track work, that is very important, because on this layout, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I had to go on the table and screw down the track because you can't reach. As tall as I am, like almost 6 foot, yeah, I still can't reach. So that's a good thing to have a note on. And also, here's a tip. When you screw down Gargrave's track, do not screw the hole all the way 1/8 of an inch, like the 1/8 inch bit. Only do that for the tie, and then when you get through the tie and go in the table or the whatever you're using for a surface, then do a bit that's just lower than that, like two sizes lower, because 1/8 is the perfect, like, that's exactly how big the track screws are. And I did it for like the first screw, and I'm like, what the heck? Because the screw just went all the way through and isn't doing nothing. It just pulls out easily. So yeah, that's a good tip to remember. Another thing is, if you do not want to, glue your roadbed and stuff, that is totally fine. I mean, look how nice it came out, and I didn't use glue or nothing. If you're wondering, like, how did you, like, do the roadbed with, without, like, it sticking out? Well, I just used, like, a little screw, colored it with Sharpie, the head of it, so it can hide, and, screwed it down, and it just mounted it, and inside the track. Another thing is, I use cork roadbed, and, there's other stuff people uses, but the cork stuff looked really nice, and I'm glad I used it. And, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much this side of the layout. I'll show you the other side. Here's the other side of the layout. Over here, it's not much different, besides, like, the engine shed and everything, and, the Pepsi factory. But, the big part here is the, system and, remotes and stuff I got down here. This is where I put all my transformers and stuff. I use the Lionel bricks, and I've got all the systems down there, the TIU, the Legacy remote. Yeah, that's pretty priority, and I'm glad I got the MTH system and the YIU before MTH ran out of business. So yeah, I got it for not a bad price. I don't remember how much it was. It was years ago. But, yeah, it looks pretty nice over here. And if you can see down there, the wiring down there, yeah, that's kind of like a rat's nest down there. That's the only part of my wiring that's not the best, because there's nowhere to mount it to, because it's just floating there. There's nothing to, have a zip tie to it. I mean, I've already tried zip tying it. That's just something I'm going to have to figure out. The rest of this stuff is clean, though, trust me. And anyways, there's not much here, so I'm going to show you the other side. Here we are at the other side, and like I said earlier, I had to go on the table to go and screw down the track. Well, here's the part where I had to do that. I had to do it for both sides of the track because it's too hard to reach. And yeah, I mean, there's not much over here. And the other side I'll show you, and there's not much different, but I mean, there's some things I can explain. So we'll go over there. Over here you can see is the engine shed, and then all the switches to the yard, and the switch to the engine facility. Now, if you're curious to what radius I'm using, the center is 072 and the outside is 080. And trust me, okay, here's the problem with Ross. 080 switches, for some reason, Ross do not like having a lot of, and it is really hard to find them in a hobby store. You have to, like, order them. So yeah, those two switches over there were pretty hard to get. But if you're also wondering in the yard, like, what kind of switch did you use to do that? Originally I thought I was just going to do 3 tracks in the yard, so I did a 3-way switch, because Chicagoland, the hobby store I go to, they had it, and it was just, like, for good price. Yeah, not a good price. It was pretty expensive, but hey, it was there. But they had it. Also, they had like a Y switch that was for 2 tracks. Later on, I saw in the future, I'm like, I wonder how I'm going to make this 4 tracks. And I did that, and it came out pretty good. I mean, you could do the four-way switch, or you can do what I did, just combine two switches. Either way, you just do whatever works for you. And another thing for wiring, if you're wondering, like, when you go to this kind of layout, wiring is much more, like, complicated in a way of how it works. You have to do soldering and just switches and stuff. I have two light switches. If you see all the way down there to the left, you can see, well, there's one of the switches, the buttons to one of the raw switches, and then there's like a light switch over there. That is to turn the power from the main power to the yard on and off. So I can have the yard off while I have the main line on. And in fact, I can't show you because the camera is too high up, but there's another one that's on the same line that's over here, so that I can cut it off from in here if something went wrong in the yard. So there's two switches on the main line to go to the yard. So that's something you should think about. And I've also done it to the engine facility. You never want to, just leave those passenger cars or engines on, power flowing to them, they get hot. And the big part about this is the power draw. And I've actually been having issues with that lately because I kind of just try making as many passenger trains in the yard as possible, and then you realize, oh, I don't got all the power in the world. Yeah, but anyways, that's about it. This video is getting really long. I'm sorry about that. Let's get to running trains. This is Iron Fox 7, and I'll see you later.